So it's 8:05 a.m. September 30th. So a piece of their game is they pretend I'm playing a game I'm not. Then they make up rules that revolve around stealing from me. So they make up lies and rules and they just manufacture evidence and then they make up some story I lied or something and then they get to steal. Who's not falling for this IP theft scam? They're trying to steal my controlled activation idea, which I made 3 years ago, and reported to law enforcement about theft 3 years ago. And they lie to law enforcement and claim I'm playing some game when I'm not. And they really just try to. Then I guess they realized the worth of my idea today or yesterday or whenever I started talking about it, and they're now trying to trump up slander, manufacture evidence so they can play their game and maybe bet it away or sell it somewhere illegally. And that's how their whole game is work. I make ideas and they pretend I'm participating in a game that I never agreed to. And then they make some fake rules and make up some story like they can ask me whatever I want. If I don't tell them, they get to steal from me or gamble it away or something. Who's not picking up on their IP theft scam? I was never playing their game, never agreed to it, never gave them permission to gamble my property. Or they'll make up a lie they're on my team when I don't even know who the fuck they are, never had a team. And they pretend they bet for me. Yeah, they don't bet for me at all. They're just criminals stealing from me, holding me hostage, and gambling with my property illegally. So, what is this control of information and where's this going on where I can just sue these people for so much theft and slander? It's scary. They don't let me know who these people are or where this is going on for a reason because they know I would say, like, you're full of shit. I'll sue you in real. They don't want it to go to real court because they're liars. And they don't want it to go to real court because there's a lot of people who know the truth who don't want to perjure themselves and go to prison for terrorists. So, that's another piece of this. So if you haven't put this pieces of the puzzle together yet, you may be involved or yet. You may be involved, have psychiatric illness or more than inhuman stupidity or just the shittiest analytical skills in the world. Because their betting ring, their games, etc. are IP theft scams. These are all IP theft scams. And they're all trying to force these different things upon me that I don't even agree to and pretend like I'm involved with things I'm not so that they can then justify theft of my intellectual property. And then they lie to some fucking moron saying, oh, it's a movie. I bought the line or I bought the, and they didn't. And they claim they bought it from this Bologna character, maybe a certain person, a certain Bologna character. And they think he has the rights to my life. And he'll make up some fake debt to these idiots and pretend I'm in debt to him when I'm not. These people are all in debt to me. And then they think they can buy property from someone who doesn't own it, then own it. So these people are fucking delusional. It's absolutely scary. Or they're just fucking all criminals and thugs. So that's one thing. Two, another piece of this is then they'll pretend to have a gambling team and be on your team when they're not. And they're just really stealing your property and gambling with it illegally. So that's another thing. Or three, they'll see me make an idea and say there's some game that I never even agreed to, not even playing, and they'll just be like, oh, he lied or he did X. And then they'll justify stealing an idea and selling it. And I don't know what their other IP theft scams are, but or they'll pretend to be investigators and pretend they're investigating and they're really just stalking my computer to steal ideas. So that's another one of their scams. So they got like little floor models to find a way to lift and steal data and IP. And then there's this terrorist who keeps selling people stuff that he doesn't even own. And I guess the way he pulls that off is by making up lies and saying people are in debt to him when they aren't. And that's one of his hustles. So they have multiple scams they pull to steal IP and data that's not theirs. And then there's terrorists and criminals making promises with data and property they don't own. Or they'll make up a lie, oh, we blackmailed them. I'm unblackmailable. Have you noticed they can't shut me up and never have been able to shut me up? Yeah. Or they'll make up some story and pretend to be the victims of crimes I'm a victim of so they can steal compensation for like this neural implant and other implants in my brain, other implants in my nervous system. For all I know, my parents may be victims of the same stuff as me, and they just either don't realize it or are being threatened into silence. I'm not sure. But there's people stealing large sums of money for crimes I'm a victim of, and maybe my family's a victim of as well. So that's another piece of this. But yeah, these guys can't blackmail me and never were able to because they just peddle manufactured nonsense and slander, and they don't want to go to real court. And they don't want to go to a real U.S. Supreme Court for a reason, because you want to know why? You go to prison for perjury. You go to prison for manufacturing evidence, and manufacturing multiple accounts of manufacturing to be multiple life sentences. So they try to avoid real court at all costs. And in the meantime, while they're trying to find a way to avoid real court, they're also looking for ways to hire video manufacturers and this and that and trying to manufacture fake evidence and learn how to do it in an untraceable fashion. But they'll get taught right now. It's in my mind. And they also don't want to go to real court because they try to use experimental technology in their court that they don't even understand. Hell, they don't even know the errors and they don't even know the errors of their instrumentation. So they purposely try to avoid real court because they don't want anyone subpoenaing the proprietary information, so that people can figure out how they have all these hustles and ins and outs of their tech, which is key. And multiple people have already said it, the tech is inadmissible because there's so many hustles. It's scary, and these guys don't even know. And these guys claiming to be experts don't even know where the device is placed in the brain. They don't even know how the tech works. So how the fuck could they be experts? Let's wake up here. They don't even know the errors in the instrumentation. How could they be experts? I've never even seen the tech or used the tech, and I've got all sorts of evidence of the errors in instrumentation because I'm the victim of it and proved it numerous times. So I'm the victim of the tech, and they use the tech on me, and I have observations as a subject of their experiments, which aren't really experiments. They're really just attempts of frames and trying to take advantage of people with the novelty of the tech and part of their IP theft scam. So don't fall for bullshit. But and there's people who I have testimony, people who already confirmed these things are true as well. And if you actually look at their computer, you'll see all these pre-made images and pre-made this that they fire at the neural implant that I see in the mind. And if you look at the data creation, that's how you catch them. So they'll be like, "Oh, we saw this in his mind on September 4th," but then the image on their computer was made like October or September 2nd. I mean, September 2nd or September 1st. I meant August. Um, but Yeah, so that's another way to catch them. But this is ridiculous. I'm getting fed up with this hostage scenario for 5 years and 7 months where they keep holding me hostage and prolonging something to avoid prison and real court. And in the meantime, they keep prolonging something so they can find a way to manufacture dirt and manufacture this and that and try to orchestrate frames while simultaneously still stealing from me and trying to create a data nightmare. This is illegal. How are these terrorists not in prison?